All right, so we just finished up the belt and stuff like that, and it turns out the alternator itself has started squealing, so we're going to go ahead and replace that as well. I need to make sure that I have all the tools to do it. I didn't even check. I should, though. It should just be unclipping this guy here and pulling this guy off of here. I don't know what size that one is. Hopefully I have the right size with me. I don't think I do, because that looks like it's maybe like a 8 or a 10 millimeter. I didn't grab an 8 or a 10 millimeter. I think 12 is the smallest I grabbed. Just double check. Yeah, 12 is the smallest I grabbed, so I'll probably have to go grab one of those, but I'll grab the other alternator, and I will grab that, and then we'll be right back. I measured up the other alternator, make sure it was the same. They look exactly the same. So I do recommend pulling the battery terminals off, disconnecting the battery, but on this case, it's the battery's already dead, so it doesn't really make much of a difference. This is basically the same process as replacing the belt. You just got to get your thing down here on the tensioner. Once you find the hole for it, just to release the tension on the belt and pull the belt off. It's really hard to see in the dark. I have no idea where there it is. There it is. Okay. Pull this back. Release the tension on the belt like this. Pull the belt off. You're good to reapply tension. Problem is, I need this. Thank you. Then you get your, this guy is a 10 millimeter. So I'll get my 10 millimeter. Throw it on here. Put a battery in it. And just hope that this comes off with this guy. Pull that off. And this just pop off. Just tuck this out of the way. Make sure it doesn't touch anything if you don't disconnect your battery. And then you have this electrical connection here. Push in on the connector and then pull it out. Alright, so I went and got a flathead screwdriver just to make it easier. You just pop that guy off. And all you got is these 3 bolts here. Let's see, what do we got? I believe they are 1/2 inch here, 1/2 inch here, and 15 here. Pretty sure is what that is. See if we can't get this guy off. This guy here should be a 15. There we go. That one's just a nut. I believe these other 2 are bolts. And those should both be 1/2 inch. Well, that's not powerful enough to take that off, so we're going to have to use trusty dusty snap-on. There we go. That's broken. Not literally, but the thing is loose now. And there we go. Now I should be able to put the old snap-on gun on. Pull these both off. That guy's out. That guy's out. 2 bolts out. Should just be 2 nuts, 2 bolts, and this guy should just slide right out. It's a lot easier when you use 2 hands. And then it just comes out and there's nothing else connecting it. Put that in the old box. Grab your new part. Make sure it's lined up. And you should be able to just drop it on in there. It's as simple as that. And you grab your old bolts, put them back in. Make sure everything's lined up. That's twisting back in nice and fine like. This guy's twisting back in. All right, yep. Perfect. Then you can just zip it down. Zip it down. And you just make sure it's tight. There is a torque spec for this, but I'm not using it. We're going to use the German specs, the Gudentight. And that is Gudentight. Now you have your 15 millimeter Put this guy back on. Get your gun. Zip it back down there real quick. You can do this whole thing by hand if you really want to, but it makes it so much easier when you have power tools at your disposal. That's good and tight. Now this does come with a new nut right here, so we'll use the new one. Looks like it's already off. Twist it off by hand. Get the new one on. Right here, put that guy on there. Make sure it is lined up. And it slides into the hole like so. Very nice. New nut can go on. It gets dark very, very early here. And it happens fast too. Alright, so that's on there. Make sure this is on tight. And we'll just... I don't want to use the power tools on this. It's just a little tiny baby 10 millimeter. I don't want to break it. That's tight enough. That back there. That power is on. This guy goes in here. It clipped in. Now it's just as simple as hooking back on to the tensioner pulley right here. I need 2 hands for this. Make sure everything else is still connected. And then you just yank back. Get enough tension to where you can slide the belt over. Pull this guy off. And then you just get your flashlight, because you're going to be doing this in the dark like me, and check to make sure that everything is still on properly. It looks like my belt is still on. That is wonderful. And then you're going to grab your jump pack, because this is not going to start without it. All right, so you just hook this guy up here, throw this guy on the positive, this guy on the negative, power it on, grab my keys. I'll bring you guys with me. We'll pull this guy out of the way because I don't want this getting caught up. Some bird poop on the door. All right, let's see what happens. Last time I started it, I pulled the battery pack off and it died immediately. Let it do its little thing here. That's working great. Looks like we're all hooked up with disconnect. This guy, turn it off. It's still running. There's still something's making some noise down here. I'm hoping it's not that brand new alternator. We got a new alternator, new tensioner pulley, new idler pulley. What is that? Power steering pump. I don't know. We could probably check power steering fluid. That is the AC compressor. That's just another pulley. I don't know. Either way, it runs. It's good. Obviously, there's still a belt noise. However, the alternator is on. I believe it's charging now, so we should be good. But I guess that's going to do it. Super simple fix. Appreciate you guys sticking around and watching. Until next time, I will see you later. Goodbye.